One of our listeners reached out to me and said, here's a scenario. His grandfather passed away, and he's been wanting to get involved in real estate investing. So from the estate, before it went into probate, he was able to make a deal on his grandfather's property from the heirs. And it is a house, has 5 acres. Question number 1, if it were your property, how would you go about setting the rent? Is it based purely on operating costs plus some markup of some kind? Or is it based on comps? And where do you get that info? Let me rephrase the question. How do you set the rental price for a rental property?
I mean, first off, you're in a market, right? And so as much as any producing person wants to make the price as high as possible, you can't do that because capitalism says someone else will undercut them, and it creates market. And so you're looking at demand. So as much as I'd love to be able to set everything off of my costs plus my profit desire, I really have to look at comps, because you're competing for the same renters as all of the other landlords in the area. So you've got to look at what are other renters actually renting properties at. And then, you can look and see what are other rentals out there that aren't being rented, probably because they're overpriced. And that's going to determine that. So tools and resources, a free resource is going to be like Zillow.com, Trulia, Marketplace on Facebook. A lot of people will put rentals out on these websites that are free to look at. And then you can look at it through the eyes of, this is how I like to do it, because this is how a renter is going to do it. They're going to look at it and go, what is the best property I can get in the price range and area that I want, right? Like
right.
that. They're looking to save as much money as possible. So then you've got to determine what is the most you can get to capture that renter that's still looking for that, right? So you've got to look at your competition and be priced according to your competition. Now, obviously, there can be variables there. Acreage is one of those things that's going to be a unique factor that you're going to be able to probably rent it for more, simply because it's got a unique value proposition. Same thing with like a pool, things like that can change that value proposition. But you're still in a market, and you have to determine it based off your competitors' pricing.